Well, looks like you guys want more of these, so here's part 6 of What If Cooler Replaced Frieza. And now, I'm not sure if anyone's thinking this, but in case anyone is, yes, we will soon get to what's happening on Earth. But to be honest, there's just a lot of changes and a lot of stuff that's happening in space right now. So we might not get to Earth for about 2 or 3 more parts. But then again, Goku's still a baby at this point in time. So, once again, not a lot is changing on Earth now, up until when he turns into a great ape against Gohan, and you'll see what I mean when we get to that point later. But for now, let's just see what all the Saiyans are doing back on Planet Vegeta, shall we? Well, not all the Saiyans, but basically, the Saiyans are going to Planet Vegeta. But King Vegeta and Prince Vegeta, actually, they had to go with Cooler real quick. And not just Cooler, not just them either, but also but also the other two Saiyans Cooler's training. So let's see how they fare right now. Lord Cooler, while I do respect you and your wisdom and I am grateful to you for your aid in helping great Saiyan race reclaim its birthright as a powerful one of the most powerful factions in the universe, I must ask once more, where are you taking me and my son? We were on our way to rendezvous with the other Saiyans on Vegeta. King Vegeta asked somewhat despondently as him and Vegeta were requested to join Cooler on his main flagship. As the ships docked and the sun walked across, they saw Broly and Paragus, neither of which were particularly really excited to see them. Paragus especially. Broly just kind of paid them no mind. However, each and every one of them had learned to sense ki at this point without a scouter. No thanks to Lord Lu's teachings. And also, so neither one of them was really, and Broly and Paragus could already see that compared to them, King Vegeta and Prince Vegeta were no threat. But they were barely, in fact, Broly recognized them as big. In fact, the only reason Broly even recognized them as actually people he used to talk to was because of him having minor manners taught him from the other Saiyan that Cooler had brought along for the ride. Who would reveal themselves when they got to the Yard Rat. Cooler looked over at them as Naze was once again as Naze was actually as Naze and Broly started conversing about some random topic. He took a note of how close those two had become over the course of their training. He then looked at the Saiyan monarchs. King Vegeta, I know my methods may seem a bit perplexing. However, no, you're right. You do actually deserve to know something here. Considering all of you are putting your lives at risk, and possibly the safety of the entire your galaxy as well as the Saiyan race. To say that this turned heads would be an understatement. Pretty much everyone, including the grunt soldiers around Cooler, were looking at him. And Prince Vegeta, however, was the first one to talk. What are you talking about? About Cooler? What in the world have you hoped us to? Cooler looked down at the young Saiyan, who had actually grown a bit. Only a couple of inches, but notable. Well, you see, Prince, remember when I told all of you that if my father and Frieza had their way, Frieza would have likely destroyed your planet? Yeah, what of it? Well, I got intel recently. Cooler showed a giant ship headed in the opposite direction they were flying. And everyone instantly recognized that as Frieza's flagship from back in the day. King Cold had allowed him to keep it from what Cooler had told them, and he was headed straight for Vegeta. Thinking that maybe Cooler had been there. As you can see, my brother's been traversing the stars trying to hunt me down. He's stood on every one of my planets he's been to. When I'm not there, he's blowing it up. And quite frankly, the irritation was clear in Cooler's voice. I am quite peeved at this. Interrupts into my plans. Cooler turned to the Saiyans. And no, we specifically will not be returning to Planet Vegeta. However, I will assure all of you that I have the utmost confidence that your people can hold their own, in spite of my brother's new strength. New strength, King Vegeta said. You mean he's stronger than when you beat him? Cooler just nodded curtly. Yes, King, he actually is. In fact, I'm honestly surprised. I never thought that brat would actually put his nose to the grindstone and go and do a couple push-ups instead of just sitting back and expecting his potential to grow more. Then again, if he grew like his ego did, he'd be the most powerful being in the universe. Because even Naze was the only people to chuckle at that, only prepare gets to elbow him the webs. It was him boldly to just shoot him a short flare. Now was not the time for comedy. King Vegeta stepped towards the pace around the interior, trying to think of any way, shape, or form as to what Cooler was planning. If you think it's a good idea, for you to have the audacity to say it's a good idea for me to be away from my people at this point in time when they likely would need me the most, I can only assume that you have some higher motive for this. King Vegeta actually took time. King Vegeta very quickly realized what was happening. Wait a minute. Frieza's on his way here in a ship. There's no way your father hasn't known that. Or maybe he's... Cooler actually smirked as he realized King Vegeta figured out the entire thing without him even needing to say anything. Truly, King, you have the mind of a Tuffle. Yes, my father and Frieza have for some reason or another joined forces against me. Whether because of my growing power, or because he knows that I'm nowhere near as complacent as Frieza, I'm not sure. However, he still has given me full reign over the Empire. I can only assume what him and Frieza are planning. And even if they aren't in cahoots with one another, he's simply not doing anything to stop this. This is what I mean when I say I'm different from the rest of my family besides my training, ethic, and warrior code. They are too complacent and too arrogant in their own born power. This is where the benefits of being born a low class, as he did air quotes, come into play. You always know what it's like to be at the bottom, and you'll do anything to never be there again. Even if it means doing things that are unseedy to most other life forms. The most heinous acts to make sure you're never at the bottom. Of course, some don't do that, and they still make it through. But I've never seen any of them make it as far as I'm about to. So yes, as you've already also come to the conclusion, King Vegeta finished his thin form. You're going to go assassinate King Cold, aren't we? King Vegeta just shook his head. We're going to go fight one of the most powerful beings in the universe, possibly. Knowing what Cooler knows, he actually chuckles at that, thinking that he's probably only top 3 or 5 in comparison. But he decides not to tell the others that their morale already needs to be boosted more than it already is. Yes, King, everyone in this room, you, your son, Broly, Paragus, I guess, even Naves, and also, wait, I just realized, where is Dory? Wait, King Vegeta just kinda shrugged. Well, we needed somebody to fly the ship back to Planet Vegeta. Cooler just shook his head. Well, What? Anyway, well, it's probably better that he's off to them anyway. They'll need help, all the help they can get. They'll need all the help they can get back on your planet. But if what I sense from them is any indication, and if the trials I put you through are any testament to your abilities, I have full confidence that the Saiyans will be able to repel this attack from Frieza. They better, otherwise their waste will be stardust. And we ourselves will need all the help we can get if we're going to fight my father. To this day, I've never beaten him in a fight before. And I only beat Frieza in a fight once in my entire life. These two are some of the most powerful beings I know personally. But luckily, we have an ace up our sleeve. Broly actually started to get excited when he knew where Cooler was going with this. But look, wait, are we gonna go? Oh, are we going to go see her now? Now, Vegeta just got her. What have you been doing these last 6 months? Who is this her you speak of? And Cooler just looks at King Vegeta as everyone and smirks. Oh, you'll see, Monarchs. You'll see exactly who I've got in mind. She can be a bit soft around the edges, but when push comes to shove, she'll defend her brother and her sisters like there's no sisters like a man out of hell. Now, let's go check on her, shall we? The ship had just landed down on Yardrat. As they all heard a high-pitched voice coming, with Broly actually just straight up flying through one of the windows to get out to her. Gine! Gine simply opened her arms wide as he received the hug from the young Saiyan child with zealous happiness. Oh, Broly, you are so big. Look at you. Broly, all the younger Saiyan did was just nuzzle her more. In the short amount of time that they've known each other, him and Gine have actually formed a close bond. Even Gine had actually formed a close bond. Her almost being like the mother he never had, whereas Paragus was just almost about to throw up at the un-Saiyan-like behavior from Gine. Sorry, excuse for saying. He muttered under his breath as he went over there to drag Broly away. Except Broly resists him and Dead kicks him away. And Paragus can't really do anything about it because this Broly is way more independent than the one in the original. He was raised partially by Cooler, who he sees as a cool uncle figure. That's not to say he doesn't love his father in this one. He still does, but he's nowhere near as codependent as he was before. Think of it like a relationship with like Baki and like Jack Hanma, or like Baki and Yujiro. He respects his father, but like if his father gets in his way, he'll take him out like no cap. Yeah. So anyway, once Cooler gets off the ship as well, Gine immediately does a little courtesy bow. Lord Cooler, I thank you for allowing me to stay here. It's been amazing. These people have been so nice and kind and knowledgeable. I've learned so much here. Yeah, and before he can go on another ramble, Cooler holds up his hand as he immediately stops talking, as well as Paragus and Broly falling in line. Yes, Gine, I'm very well aware of the Yardratian abilities. I came with you when they were I was with you when they were talking about them. Hopefully you've learned some useful ones. I believe they've had about a couple here. Oh yes, Lord Cooler. In fact, I'll show you one right now. Now, Gine puts her No, Gine, you've already shown me before, remember? Oh, I have? Yes, remember? But that's instant transmission ability that you possess. A very interesting move, I might add. I wish I had the time to learn these abilities myself, but I was more so occupied with training. And some of them look so useful. Oh well, as long as you've learned them well, then then everything should work out fine. Cooler that Gine nodded. Cooler, that's how her training went. He had noticed that Gine was far more lax and more laid back than the other Saiyans on planet Vegeta. And he was actually more open to listen to others' opinions and even empathize with people. If a word could exist for Saiyans like that anyway. A word like that could exist in the Saiyan language. So when he went to go to the Ordradians and try to speak peace talks, he knew exactly where to go. At first he wasn't that interested in the planet until he heard rumors that they had some special abilities. He knew that most of the other Saiyans with him at the moment wouldn't really do them unless they saw the potential. So he left Gine. And in less than a month of being here, he already got the Kanasans to agree to help Cooler. There had been a slight revolt to help Cooler. There had been a slight revolt on the planet. And in a few weeks ago, like when they put there had been a slight attack on the planet from some women Frieza soldiers that defied Cooler's rule. Gine took, after months of training with the legendary Super Saiyan, his dad, and Cooler himself at some points in the training, as well as learning Yordradian techniques. By the time they showed up, Gine effortlessly got rid of them as if they were nothing. She didn't enjoy fighting anymore like she did in her early days, but she was still a Saiyan and she was still capable. Now with her having been transmission, then Cooler knew that he could use it to his advantage. He also asked if he had actually procured any Yordrats for his service. He presented, and yes, he did. He actually presented him with about three other Yordrats. Rat foot soldiers. Yes, here. They all know it in transmission, and they all can have healing abilities as well. Well, the first one showed up. Wait, the first one just ran up and slipped. Oh, and him as well. Anyway, these are the 4 healers that we have. I was learning how to do it too, but I'm still a novice. I was lucky I managed to master transmission as fast as I did. And I did. The healing parts are still a bit much. But also, then I realized I didn't really have enough time for the giantification and the cloning abilities. However, 2 of the Yordrats here have mastered that too. Have mastered 1 or 2 of those. The Cooler nodded. That's good. We'll need them if we're going to stand a chance against my father, and also against Frieza. Gine looked at him. Frieza? Wooly looked up at her and nodded. Uncle Cooler said that he was headed to planet Vegeta. When he gets there though, he'll be stomped out. Wooly said this with conviction. Gine almost thinks that if the Saiyans on the planet can't handle it, Wooly's more than willing to go handle it himself. And despite him being a legend, he is almost about to beg him not to go fight a little sloth demon. But then Cooler just reaches down and ruffles Broly's hair, something that actually elicits a slight chuckle from the younger Saiyan. There, boy. If I think it's necessary, you have a much higher calling. You're the legendary warrior of your species. I have no doubt of that. And you will, but you shouldn't waste your. And unfortunately, going to fight someone like Frieza will be a waste of your talent. Let the rest of your race handle this. If they need the legend to take care of such a minuscule issue, then to be frank, Clank, maybe you're the best choice to be the last one of them. Cooler hit a small smirk as he walked away. Gine was almost taken off guard by that, but he realized this might have been more of Cooler's dark humor that he tried out every now and then. He didn't really have a taste for it, but he did pretty much help her get to the palace he was at. Anne was helping her ways. As far as he was concerned, he was the epitome of the lesser evil in the situation. If she could even call him evil. But at this point, she still knew he wasn't good, but she also knew that he was the best thing that they could have hoped for. And with that, she'd follow him wherever they went. They went. Also, Lord Cooler, are we ready yet? Cooler looked at Gine. And then he looked at the ship that they left on Yardrat. Okay. Dread. As King Vegeta and Prince Vegeta decided that the small talk was over and that now was the time to listen to what was being said, Cooler gathered up his small little Melissa as he looked on at them. Okay, listen everyone. Okay everyone, pay attention. I know I have had Gine been I mapped out the exact route coordinates as to where my father is. He's on Frieza planet at 409. Or should I say, Cooler's planet 47409. Cooler corrected himself with a bit of disdain. And pride. What we need to do is simple. We need to go there and we need to take out King Cold. Then the universe will be ours for the plundering. And then he looked at Gine Salvin expressing, and acquiring new knowledge to better build the same place than my own. So yeah, Gine's found immediately turned upside down. But anyway, this won't be possible without all of us together. Now, you all know how I can transform into my fourth form. Cooler, without no fanfare, immediately transformed into his fifth form. His fifth form, he had trained himself to not only master his power in his base, but also to instantaneously turn into it at the drop of a hat, just in case he was caught in a corner and couldn't do it otherwise. Now, my father might be able to turn into this as well. He can also, because he also has the third and the fourth transformations of our species, mutations of our species. These species. Be on guard. I've even heard whispers I've even started to speculate he might have a form beyond, and even the fifth form. And Cooler's voice, you could almost hear Cooler had to struggle to hold in the warrior in his voice there. He had never feared an opponent in his life, but his father, now that man, that wasn't just an opponent. If he wasn't ready for this, that would be instantaneous death. Or torment, and depending on how King Cold felt that day. Either option was horrible. So anyway, Gine has a plan. You'll put King Vegeta and Prince Vegeta to one side of the planet. The planet that has the moon on it. They will turn into great apes and they'll rain havoc. This will have to bring King Cold out as he has to manage his soldiers. Then you two, he points to two other Yardradians, you two will teleport Broly and Paragus right outside the palace. And Gine, you'll teleport me directly inside. We'll catch him by surprise. Surprise that way. And then he points to the other Yardradians. But before any of that, I want you two to shut down the scouting technology. We're gonna go in quick and quiet. They won't know that we're there. I don't want him calling any reinforcements. Gine step forward. But look, Cooler, what about Planet Vegeta? Cooler looked at her. If we can spare once this plan is done, then we can go. then we can send some manpower to Planet Vegeta. Until then, they're going to have to be on their own. Their own. Once that is, but immediately after the scouters are done, 2 of you will have your jobs done. Cooler looked at the other 2 nameless Guardians. So, you 2 will go help Planet Vegeta. Gine will help you locate it. Any questions? Nobody? Oh, cool. Broly waved his hand. Yes, Broly. I want Uncle Cooler. Well, when do I get a shot at King Cold? I want to make him pay for sending Frieza to my planet. King Vegeta and Prince Vegeta both clipped an eyebrow at the mention of it being Broly's planet. Yeah, but Broly shut them down with a sharp glare. Cooler let out a hearty laugh. Oh, cool. Broly, my boy, why do you think I'm having you and your father outside of his door? For when I walk him through and ambush him, of course. Nappa paced on the safe in high-rise. The Saiyan Palace high-rise as he awaited of Cooler's vengeful brother, Frieza. He had his army already gathered around, and the Ginyus, and even the Ginyus were waiting somewhere else on the planet in case the Frieza so attack there as well. Well, damn Spaceballs. I thought we'd have more time. Oh well. Well, I'm confident that I can take him, and with the rest of me backing me up, it shouldn't be that much of an issue. Ain't that right? Guys, a massive war yelled out among the Saiyan army. They were ready to defend their home and prove themselves cooler. Maybe after this he'd give them the autonomy deserved. If they survived, that is. Nappa just couldn't help but grin at the section of his military that he helped to train. Sure, some of Bardock's team was here as well, but Bardock and his army had been stationed somewhere else. And apparently King Vegeta and Prince Vegeta were going to help Cooler with another secret mission that they were on that he didn't tell him about, but he knew that they were going to do something important. Odds are, now it didn't really take a genius to see what the special mission was, that Nappa actually came to the conclusion they might just be going to take out King Cold, and if that were the case, they really couldn't expect any backup, even from that Broly kid that King Vegeta talked about having the legendary Super Saiyan among them really could have helped boost morale. Not that it was low, mind you, but just that they were about to fight one of the most powerful entities in the universe, and according to Cooler, he had gotten stronger than that. Nappa wasn't sure they were going to win this fight without a Super Saiyan of some kind. He shrugged. Well, we're going to go down fighting, ain't that right? Guys, because the Saiyan race is the most mightiest race in the entire galaxy. No, the universe. Let me hear you. The army screams even louder, reverberating across the entire planet. It was just a shout, the yelling. And while Nappa did indeed mean what he said, he also didn't really want to die just yet, especially since Banyu was on the planet safely away from any conflict, and carrying his kid. He actually wanted to live through this so he could help raise the kid to be a proper Saiyan, even if he would be a half-breed. He might, who knows, he might be born with some crazy out-of-this-world potential. He just laughed. Yeah, like that'll ever happen. Like having less Saiyan blood to make someone stronger. He didn't look to the skies as he tried to use his new key sensing abilities. Now Nappa and the other Saiyans had learned how to sense ki on their own from some members of the Galactic Patrol, and had even improved the senses there too. People like go around. They couldn't naturally get as good as eyesight as Yonko had because that was a biological increase, but they did have better senses and better key sense than some on Bardock's crew, even more than Bardock himself. So this allowed Nappa to actually sense Frieza a couple of hours before he was about to arrive on the planet. Or is it days? He always got a bit confused when it came to asking cosmological scaling. He wasn't the one who programmed them. He wasn't the one that, actually cosmological scaling, unless it was with pod algorithms. But he could estimate that at best, Frieza was almost here. Maybe in a week. Maybe give him a week. Maybe give him possibly a couple of hours. And that's when Nappa noticed that with how far away the distance is that Frieza plan was from Vegeta, him and King Cold had probably committed to this plan for a while now. Now, okay, everybody, battle stations. And so we'll be here in just a couple of hours. Now, if anyone feels the need that they get a bit more Zenkai boost before he gets here, feel free. If any of you want to try, feel free. As for me though I need to make sure the preparations are ready in case of an ambush on other sides of the planet, and in case of an orbital bombardment. And so I actually don't have time to do that, unfortunately. Nappa if only he had a fast way of healing, then he could have some of his soldiers injure him and get this ready. Now, Tollmate, now for his other twin, Saiyans, he actually had them on either side of the planet. He knew they worked better together, but he would be very appreciative if they had actually been split up on some of the most important places on planet Vegeta, which were the communication hubs, as well as the ship bays, which actually, now that I remember, were actually right next to each other. So we would just have both of them guard that, because if that went up and they couldn't get a signal out that they needed help of some kind, and yeah, that's why they still have scouters so they can send signals across interstellar distances. That's why some of the cooler soldiers still have scouters in here. And certainly not because I can't don't know how to remove them. So anyway, basically the attack plan was set, and in just a few hours, like Nappa predicted, Frieza came to the atmosphere. Came just close to getting into the atmosphere of planet Vegeta. So this is the planet Cooler was trying to protect. Pitiful. Oh, Lord Frieza, former Lord Frieza. So, according to him, it was still Lord Frieza unless you wanted to get a death beam through the forehead. Frieza was looking down at planet Vegeta after he had just sent some of his strike forces, including All-One and Midoriya, to go test the planet's defenses. Needless to say, they were pretty well defended, as it took a little more than about 5 minutes for the entire army, which was still pretty sizable, as some of those who were strictly loyal to Frieza, set up to King Cold or Cooler, and they were pretty much eviscerated. Zarbon's force was completely incinerated down to the submolecular level before they could even reach the stratosphere of planet Vegeta. And Dodoria's forces were pretty much beaten to bloody bits of ribbons when they actually were allowed to land. Frieza almost was certain that the monkeys were just trying to make a show of force as they bashed his head in like a grape and whipped Kree to pieces and beat him with his own arms. A show of force, probably. Frieza, however, was not intimidated. In fact, if anything, this wanton show of aggression and primal challenge just seemed to irritate him more. Those filthy savage monkeys, thinking they can make a fool out of great Lord Frieza. Then again, no one could ever do that worse than my brother. Cooler. Frieza's power almost evaporated the ship into his two last trump cards actually showed in. And, my lord, is something the matter? No, both of them kneeled down as Frieza turned around to see both Kato and Abo, both ready and waiting at attention. Frieza actually let a small smile play across his face before sternly turning to them. If he could be grateful for anything, it would be this experience leading him to these two. Their power was extraordinary. He dared say their potential almost approached his own. His own if he was to be extremely charitable, which he was never known to be, unless you were worth his time, and even then, if you failed him, well, the two of them already knew that. They already had their one chance when they both decided the training was too rough. After this, there'd be no more chances, and he let them know, and all three of them knew that. Well, you two, it seems like it's our time to shine. Frieza turned to the pilots that were still navigating the ship. All of you keep the ship here. I want all of you to keep the ship here in Bay. Here around the planet. If worst were to come to worst, all of you are to evacuate. Wait, I don't want Cooler Cat getting his hands on any information on this ship. After we're done here, we'll have some more use for it. Understood? All the soldiers nodded hurriedly. Good. Frieza, Abo, and Kato both flew out into space as they looked down at planet Vegeta. The sensors have already shown them what to expect. Now that they were just in a perfect position to do so, Abo and Kato actually looked at Frieza and asked, My lord, if we may, I have a question. Frieza tensed at his authority being questioned, but considering that they were about to find an entire army of warrior up monkeys, he decided to let it slide. What is it? Why don't we simply just destroy the planet from this vantage point? It seems like it would be a much lesser hassle. Frieza quickly turned to Kato and grabbed him an egg. An egg. Well, for three main reasons. First I want to at least attempt to subjugate these monkeys into being a part of the true force, the Frieza force. Usurping them from Cooler would be a massive blow to his pride, and will show that I'm the superior conqueror between us, but to Father. Father of course wouldn't like. Father wouldn't like it if I would've just. Father apparently wants some information on this planet that Cooler himself is hiding from him. I've overheard this as me and him was training in the last month. The last training about a couple months ago. And after that, and then afterwards as well. Well, we need the information on this planet. It's too important and valuable to lose, and Cooler hid it here knowing that this would prevent an attack of this caliber. But Frieza was beyond pissed at this, and then as he further choked Otto, and then came the last reason. And third of all, I want Cooler to see me eviscerate every single Saiyan on there. They are stupid enough to follow him over me. Show up force and all that. Show those Saiyans what true barbarism and slaughter looks like. Just leaving him to come back to an asteroid field won't do anything that he hasn't seen before, me and him haven't seen and or done before. I want to leave a message, and also, so when he does come back and sees Planet Vegeta, and he were to land there, Frieza smiled as he let go of Otto as Kato came and helped his brother up. I want him to see the
trick I learned, courtesy of him, and beat him with his own ability. His own mutation, if you will. Frieza smiled darkly as he was envisioning all the vicious, malicious things he'd do to Cooler when he saw him again. But then his face immediately returned to a small scowl. But that's neither here nor there now. So, are both of you with me? Okay. Albo and Kato quickly saluted. Yes, Lord Frieza. Good. Then enough questions. Now it's time for action. You two know your goals. And mine? And mine? Well, I'll find something worth my time on this pitiful planet before I'm to rendezvous with Father again. And now let's go. And with that, the three of them went to separate sides of the planet. With Albo and Kato. Well, actually, Albo and Kato went to the same side. They fought better as a team, after all. Frieza himself just went to the largest collected group of Saiyans, deciding he'd go after the small fight later. Besides, if the scout is winning the Kaisen, that Saiyan, the former Saiyan General Nappa, seemed like the biggest threat. And if there's one thing Frieza hated, it was a threat to his power. Let the games begin, monkeys. Let's see who's the true emperor by the end of the day. Well, here, Lord Cooler. Gine looked back as he saw Cooler holding on to her shoulder. Cooler gently moved to her side as he looked around. So this is where my father is. You may go now, Gine. Gine nodded as he entered, transmission away from the battlefield. Truly thankful that he didn't have to witness the carnage that was about to happen. And Cooler looked around to see if everything had been met out. Big open field. Lots of tall spires. Seems to be natural architecture. This place is every environmentalist and nature lover's dream. One could sell this entire planet for twice that of a regular price. Maybe 10 times as much if we're looking for true hippie planet lovers. It's always nice to see you, at least one. See you being so appeasing of merchandise. Just shows what you could have been if you had had the appropriate power at birth. Cooler just slowly turned around as he saw his father. However, he wasn't like he used to be. Coming out in his third form. Your third? Already mutating and already anticipating an attack, father? Cole just chuckled dryly. Oh, come now, Cooler. There's only one reason you would be here, and only one reason you would send your little pet monkeys all over this new planet I had just procured. Shame that we have to ruin it in this. But what's about to happen next? We could have sold it for so much. You remember the first time we helped sell your first planet? And Cooler, yeah, I got conned out of the deal. And then we went to blow up that con artist's entire planet. King Cold actually chuckled lightly. Oh, good family times. I think it might have been the only time you and Frieza ever actually laughed together. Cooler, despite himself, actually almost did a small smile of his own. If he didn't, but then remember that Frieza immediately teased him and pestered him about getting conned like that when Frieza had previously made a better deal. Then again, Frieza had Blueberry there to instruct him, whereas Cooler was forced to do his on his own. Oh yes, father. I do remember the advantages that Frieza has, that you and him both had, both of which were beyond mine until less than a few months ago. Advantages we still have, Cooler, the King Cold said sternly as he walked over his eldest. Cooler, listen. You're smart. You're calculating. You're methodical if need be. You're cunning and crafty. And a lot of other positive C adjectives. However, the fact of the matter is, Frieza just has more to offer in terms of his power. He's also an impudent, spoiled brat thanks to you. You, Cooler, spat out. King Cold frowned a bit, but immediately regained his composure. I will admit that is a fault of my own. However, that doesn't change what is. So I'm asking you as your I'm ordering you as your father to step down and let your brother rule again. Cooler just eyed King Cold stonily, and whatever happened to me being the best pick due to my positive attributes you so praised less than a couple of months ago. King Cold just merely blinked at him. Oh yes, those. Well, I would be nice if you could tutor Frieza how to be more like you. Truly, if Frieza had your level of pose and eloquence, then we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. And the Saiyans wouldn't have been becoming this big of a problem. I was never going to destroy them myself, you see, but I do question your insistence on making them too strong for even us to control. Have you ever wondered what will happen when they eventually surpass you? Cooler just furrowed his brow. That's none of your concern, father, nor Frieza's. I'll worry about that when the time comes. King Cold just shrugged. Well, or if Frieza hasn't demolished that little red ball of dust by the time I get through with you. You? Are you absolutely certain, son? There's no going back once your decision is made. So I just want to say, you were such a joke. You were more tolerable to ways than King Cold didn't even have a time to finish his sentence as Cool's fist collided straight with his sternum. Causing the former Emperor of the Universe's eyes to bulge out of his skull. Then let the games begin, father. Let's see if your words keep up with your skill. Okay, this took a while to get out, but now we're gonna leave it on that nice little altercation there. Here, let's see who's gonna come out at the top in this family feud to end them all. The battle of the Cold family with the Saiyan stuck in the middle. This will be a fight for the ages, and one that will determine the course of the entire Universe 7 for years to come. Stay tuned next time for the next installment of Part 7 of What If Cooler Replaced Frieza.